Kelly Rourke-Scarry. I am the director and co-founder of Building Arizona Families Adoption Agency. I started the agency back in 2004 with Angie Penrose because I believe in adoption. I was the product of adoption. My mother chose adoption for me when she found out she was pregnant with me. My mother didn't find out she was pregnant with me until a couple weeks before I was born. I'm a strong proponent of adoption. I believe in adoption. My mom was 16 years old when she found out that she was pregnant with me 3 weeks before I was born. And she chose adoption for me because she wanted me to have the life that she wanted me to have, and she knew that she couldn't provide it. My birthday is 8 days prior to Roe v. Wade. Had that happened a year prior, I can't say for sure whether or not she would have made the same choice. So I'm very grateful that I was blessed to be born when I was. That is one of the reasons that I do push for higher standards with adoption. I believe in women and I believe in the choice that they're making, and I think it's selfless. And I think that giving their baby an opportunity at life over choosing a quick fix of abortion is an amazing choice, and it's one that should be celebrated. And that's why we're here today. My story is in some ways like everybody else's story, but in other ways it's very different. So my mother had me and I was placed for adoption. My mother was not able to see me. She was not able to hold me. She wasn't able to name me. She was a victim of the knock 'em out, drag 'em out type delivery. And today that's pretty much unheard of. But back then it was pretty normal. And so I was born and taken into the nursery, and she never got to say goodbye. She never was able to receive any type of services for her adoption choice. She was not to tell anybody about it. She didn't even tell her own father about it. He wasn't living with my grandmother at the time. And so it was something that was kept very hush-hush. It wasn't talked about. It wasn't looked upon by anybody as a good thing with the teenager getting pregnant. And that's similar to today. I mean, we look at teenagers like they're children themselves. I was able to reunite with my birth mother after I started the agency. After meeting birth mother after birth mother, I decided at that point in my life it was time to find out my story, and it was time to learn about my mother's choice and why she gave me the life that she gave me. So I reached out and I was able to open the court records and find her, and it was very different than I thought it was going to be. I thought she would be in a different place, but she wasn't. And she went through life struggling and not understanding what a glorious thing she did. She went through life condemning herself and stressed out and anxiety and depression, and not understanding what happened to her when she was 16, even as she got older, because she was still afraid to tell people about it. So she died at the age of 59, 10 years after I got to meet her for the first time. And in those 10 years, I learned how different her life may have been had she been given services. So after she died, my husband and I decided that it was time to start the Donna K. Evans Foundation so that women we work with can benefit from what my mother didn't. And I have two biological brothers that my mother kept after she had placed me for adoption, and they went through her life struggles with her. And so I was able to be raised in a stable adoptive family. I was able to go to college and get my master's degree. I was able to travel. I was able to go to bed at night knowing where I was going to wake up the next morning. Not everybody gets that. And so we believe in adoption because it's going to give that child a chance at life. But if you choose an abortion, that child's not going to even get that chance. In listening to the women that I work with and trying to help them and trying to understand where they're coming from, I've learned over the years that abortion is a quick fix to a problem. And pregnancy, and especially an unplanned pregnancy, can be looked at as a problem. There's really only three choices when you have an unplanned pregnancy, and that's to parent, to have an abortion, or to do an adoption. And adoption has not gathered the publicity and the attention that abortion has. And I want to make it my mission that I can get the word out about adoption, because these babies deserve a chance. They deserve life. They deserve to rise above a decision that is being made for them without their input. You can't give a child a voice if the child can't ever be born to have it. When the campaign You Know Me came out, it was on the premise that 1 in 4 women before the age of 45 have had an abortion. 1 in 4 women. That's 25% of our female population. That's a lot of babies that are not being born. According to some statistics, if you believe it's a baby at conception, which I do and a lot of people do, abortion is the highest cause of death. I launched the campaign, You Before Me, because each and every woman that chooses adoption is choosing her baby's life before her own. That doesn't mean that she can parent or that she's going to choose to parent. It means that she loves that child enough to put that child first. It is the most selfless choice that can be made. And it's time that we as a nation, we as a state, celebrate this choice. That we make it an available resource and a resource that people understand and they too can celebrate. It's our way of saying to these women and these babies that are being born, you matter. You matter. And we're going to celebrate your selfless choice because this is why we do what we do. This is why we created the Donna K. Evans Foundation, because we want to make sure that after you place your baby for adoption, that you are going to have the same chance that your baby's going to have, that you're going to live the life that you want to live, that we're going to help you get back on your feet so that while your baby is being placed in a beautiful adoptive family, you are now going to turn your own life into the beautiful life that you want. And so it is a mission of Building Arizona Families and the Donna K. Evans Foundation that everybody who has a friend, a family member, knows somebody that's adopted, can understand what a selfless choice was made for that child to be here. Life is precious and should be celebrated at all costs. Women that come to us are at all stages of life and they're experiencing all aspects of life. Some of the women that come to us are homeless. Some of them are mentally ill. Some of them have just been released from being incarcerated. Some of them are on drugs. Some of them have a child that is in the custody of the state. Some of them have so many children they don't feel that they can parent another one equally with the children they already have. And some women just feel that they're not meant to be a parent. And that's okay. And that's why adoption exists, because when women come to us, we can help them. There are services we can offer the same day that they come to us. We can help get them off the street immediately. We can make sure that they have food to eat. We have a clothing closet that they can go in and have clothes. When you're living on the street and you only have one shirt, that's a really hard life. And when you're pregnant, that's 2 lives that are living that hard life. And the day that you come into us, we can help you with your adoption plan. We can help you with housing. We can help you with food. We can help you with clothing. We have maternity clothing that you can choose from. It's all free to you right away. We can help you after you have the baby as well through the Donna K. Evans Foundation. We can help you obtain your GED if you need it. We can help you find a job. We can help you with long-term housing. We can help you achieve your dream and your goal. By you choosing adoption over abortion, you're helping your baby, you're helping yourself, you're helping an adoptive family become an adoptive family. And by doing that, you're giving them a gift of life. And we have adoptive families here in Arizona, all across the United States, waiting, hoping, praying, wishing that they could become parents. And this is a gift, and it's a gift only you can give.
Life on the streets is brutal. When you wind up there, you do whatever it takes to survive. No one plans to be homeless or addicted or to bruise their body and soul. But when it's you just shut it all out. Do what it takes. Until you find out you're pregnant. Then what? The reality of another life inside you hits hard. You're barely living this life yourself. How could it be possible to live it with a baby too?
Hi, I'm Deborah Brackett, and I chose you before me because I believe my child deserved a chance. And so I gave him that chance, and now today we have a great opportunity and future ahead of us. I wasn't in a position to parent at the time, but now I'm doing a lot better. I've had more doors and opportunities open up that I never would have imagined having. So not only has it given my son the chance to live and have a life, but it also gave me a life that I could never have imagined. I would make that same choice today and any and every other day, and I would tell everybody, voice it all the time, tell everybody that it was the best decision I've ever made.
My name is Rachel Himmelberger, and I'm part of the You Before Me campaign because I chose life for my child. Before I went to Building Arizona Families, I was homeless on the street and a heroin addict. I didn't know that I had a choice. I had had an abortion previously because I didn't know that I was able to choose life for my child. And now my child has a future, and as well as me, I have a future as well. And knowing that he's going to be taken care of, and this family has a chance to have a child that they didn't have before.
My name's Nicole, and before coming to Building Arizona Families, I was homeless. I had been living in an abandoned house for about 2 years. I had been in a seriously abusive relationship for 3.5 years. I heard about Building Arizona Families through a friend of mine that I was actually at the time getting high with, who was with them, and she told me because I felt like I had no other options. I knew that my son's father would kill us both in the end if I would have kept my son. So coming to Building Arizona Families was scary at first because I felt like I was doing something wrong, and then it was really hard for me to digest, but they were there for me through my whole pregnancy. They made it possible for me to have safe housing. They helped me put my ex in jail, so he was not around when I had the baby, and by the time he got out, the baby was already out of state with his new family. And for me, that was priceless. It was priceless because my son was already born with a bruise on the side of his face from when my ex kicked me in the stomach. I can't say enough about coming here though, because they helped me. I'm a certified peer support specialist now, and they made it possible to help me get sober. I did go and do my 2.5 years in prison after I had my son, and they made sure that I got mail, I got visits, I was able to make phone calls, all to my caseworker through here at Building Arizona Families. I was able to gain some sobriety under my belt and get out, like I said, become a certified peer support specialist. There are other options besides abortion. And I'm not saying that abortion didn't cross my mind, and I was never able to digest it properly, ever. I felt like I had no other options, but I felt like that couldn't have been an option for me. So I got to be about 4.5, 5 months pregnant before I even heard about Building Arizona Families, not knowing what I was gonna do or where I was gonna go with this baby, and just thinking that CPS was gonna take another kid from me. I do have an open adoption. The parents are absolutely amazing. We email each other at least once a week. They have been there for me through my 2.5 years in prison. They wrote me. They make sure that I had pictures, and they've been there with me through my whole pregnancy. The mom, her name is Jamie, she gives me advice and stuff all the time, or she lets me know that she's always there for me if I have any other questions. They're not accidents, and they deserve a chance. And if it's not with the parents, then it's with somebody else. Like, my son has the greatest future ahead of him. He has 2 loving parents, which he wouldn't have had he been with me. We would have constantly been on the run. I can't say that I would be sober, and I can't say that CPS wouldn't have taken him, and then I wouldn't know where he was at or have any contact at all. Building Arizona Families has also been here for me through my pregnancy with my new son. He's 4 months old, and they make sure that, they donated a crib to me. They made sure I had a stroller, clothes, stuff like that. So it's kind of like having an extended family. I would say that there's other options, explore all your options. Don't make a snap decision based on not knowing anything else. you know, because there is another route to go. Adoption is a great route, you know, like you then get to, even if you want a closed adoption, you know what I mean? You know that you gave that baby the best opportunity possible as opposed to no opportunity at all.
My name is Becky. I'm the Domestic Program Coordinator for Building Arizona Families. I'm also a mom through adoption. My husband and I adopted 2 boys at birth. I am very thankful for my boys' birth mothers. They gave me the opportunity to become a mom because they chose life instead of abortion. I was not able to become pregnant, and because of their brave choice, my husband and I were able to grow our family, and there has not been a day that has gone by that I have not been thankful for their choice.